In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, source of all that is good, true, and beautiful, we ask your blessings on the various circumstances of our life, on our country, on our community, on our families, on our friends. We ask you to be especially with us this evening and bless the honorees of Norristown High School, whose talent, whose success has only redounded to your eternal glory. We ask you to inspire us always, that every work and prayer of ours may begin always with you, and through you be happily ended through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Guido Martinelli, and I'm president of the Norristown Area High School Hall Champions Association. It's with great honor and pride that I welcome you this evening to our 20th annual Hall Champions and Fame Induction program on behalf of the Norristown Area High School Hall Champions Association. Our Hall Champions Association administers both the Hall Champions for athletic excellence while attending high school, and the Hall of Fame for excellence in life pursuits after high school. We take great pride in being the first school district in this part of Pennsylvania to form such an association to honor former students. Tonight's induction ceremony is the first time that the association is holding a combined ceremony to include both halls. We congratulate each of tonight's inductees for their outstanding accomplishments. Collectively and individually, their accomplishments are very impressive. Selecting, honoring, and perpetuating the names of these graduates is the exciting reward for all the hard work extended on behalf of our association's membership throughout the year. Each inductee will receive this evening a handsome bronze plaque with their picture and accomplishment inscribed, and a pin especially designed for inductees. In addition, to perpetuate their accomplishments and their graduation from Norristown Area High School, their names will be added to the permanent plaques, which for the Hall Champions is located in the lobby of the athletic wing, and for the Hall of Fame in the lobby of the auditorium. Pictures of tonight's inductees have been placed in the Paul M. Schellenberg Sr. Memorial Showcase in the cafeteria for all the students, faculty, and visitors to see and read about their accomplishments. Please take a moment during the reception this evening in the cafeteria to see the showcase that our association donated to the school. Two other groups will be honored tonight for their accomplishments. The first group will be current Norristown Area High School student athletes who were selected for their athletic skills, sportsmanship, and valuable contribution to the sports program. The second group will be current Norristown Area High School honor students who currently maintain superior academic credentials. Our association is proud to recognize academic excellence as well as athletic excellence. We welcome and congratulate these students, who you will soon meet, and salute their parents for their ongoing support and guidance. Each of these students is a future Hall Champions Hall of Fame candidate. We hope that they will strive to attain the necessary credentials required to enter the halls. Our inductees this evening, representing classes from 6 of the last 7 decades, visited with our high school students earlier today and took part in a roundtable discussion with several of the students we are honoring tonight. The discussion was taped for viewing by all students. We thank Dr. Hildy Jaffe, Vice Principal, and Anthony Koya, Communications Director, for coordinating this program. Now let us proceed with the program by recognizing previous inductees who are with us tonight. If we don't have the house lights on, can we have them, please? From the Hall of Champions, we have Charles J. Holmes from the class of '58. Will you stand and be recognized? From the Hall of Fame, we have L. Charles. From the Hall of Fame, we have L. Charles Beal, the class of '35. Frederick E. Lobb, class of '48. Paul G. Atkinson, class of '39. And one of our oldest members, Morris Cohen, from the class of 1925. I would also like for us to have a moment of silence for one of our Hall of Fame inductees who passed away this week, Samuel Monasteros. Can we have a moment of silence, please? Sam was a supporter of the Hall Champions Association, and he almost attended each one of our ceremonies, so he's going to be sadly missed. At this time, I'd like to introduce our principal, Barry Spencer. Thank you.
Thank you, Guido. Inductees, honored students, members of the Hall of Champions Association, family and friends, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Norristown Area High School for this year's induction to both the Hall of Champions and our Hall of Fame. I have very brief remarks this evening, and I would like to start by thanking Guido, the president of the Hall of Champions Association, and the many other members who have continued this organization on a continuous basis, meeting monthly for over 20 years at this time. Last November we had an outstanding celebration with hundreds of alumni, and I believe that a number of you were present last year in our auditorium, in our cafeteria for dinner and the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the Hall of Champions Association. I think it's one of the most fabulous organizations associated with Norristown Area High School. As a matter of fact, because of the Hall of Champions Association and its recognition of outstanding accomplishments both in athletics during school years and scholastic and personal and business, etc. achievements throughout the world by our graduates after high school in the Hall of Fame, and a lot of discussion about the different happenings in Norristown in this day and age. Over the last year, we've begun a Norristown alumni organization which is open to all of the graduates of Norristown schools. Our next official function, and what will be our first official meeting where we will adopt a set of bylaws that we've already reviewed and drawn up, and elect the first presidents of the Alumni Association. We will begin the program on November 11th, Veterans Day, with recognition of Norristown alumni who are veterans in our armed services. So we have a special program here that evening, November 11th. I would like to personally invite all of you who are able to attend, and if you have not already signed up for our alumni organization, you will be able to do so that evening, as well as take part in any discussion that takes place for the business part of the meeting and the official adoption of bylaws and election of officers. So I invite you November 11th, please mark your calendars, try to be here. I'd love to see an audience as big as the one we have this evening. I'd like to thank the inductees this evening, 8 of the 9 who are with us this evening who were present today. Unfortunately, I had several other commitments and did not have a chance to talk with any of the inductees today. I also thank Dr. Jaffe for taking care of arrangements with both students and within the school. I hope it was a beneficial day to each of you that were here. I know that will be for our students for the future. We have done this for a number of years. We've had a variety of different programs. Last year we had quite a few members of the Hall of Champions and inductees who came to the school and spent time in classes and moved around the building for about 2/3 of the day, as well as having lunch as you had today. It's very beneficial for our present students to see the many successes that past students have had, whether it be in the field of athletics during high school or after high school in the world. I would like to congratulate the students that we're recognizing this evening. They were selected by specific coaches and Mr. Fabrizio, who will introduce them for our present athletic programs. And I'd also like to congratulate our academically honored students this evening for their accomplishments in terms of scholastics and also service and participation in activities in the present Norristown Area High School. I'd like to leave you with one thought about today's school. Our Norristown Area High School that you see, you're in the building tonight, some of you were here today, many of you have been here over the years. This is our 26th year in this facility. I think you will find it is, nobody believes me when I tell them that, but it is this is the 26th year it's been in actual operation. From 2,370 students, which was our largest group of students in the school, to the smallest, which is around 1,400. Presently, we're at about 1,650 students right now in grades 9 through 12. Presently, we have probably the most diverse student population in suburban Philadelphia. And I mean that on both sides of the river, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We have a student population that goes from probably some of the richest in our society to some of the poorest. We have many students who are without family, that live in homes within our school district, that go to school here, that aren't even from the Norristown area. We have many of our students that are involved in special needs programs. We have close to 300 students that attend this school out of our 1,650 that are in special education programs. We have many of our students who go on, and we've had 80, 81, 82% the last 3 years. We have between 80 and 82% each year of our graduates that have gone on to higher education. We offer a program of excellence for students of special needs, for students that are way behind academically that are not in special needs programs. We offer programs for all of the students, both for careers and also for college-bound, that anyone could wish for. We have students attending all of the Ivy League schools over the last several years and most of the other major top academic institutions in the country. We represent, I can't tell you how many different races, religions, and nationalities or cultures across the world. We have people from all over the world. As I said, I think we have I'm sure that we have the most diverse population right now in suburban Philadelphia. It's a workable school. We have programs for everyone. We have a band that's achieved excellence, that has all types of people in it, that Mr. Shop has done a wonderful job with. We have an athletic program that competes on the highest level with schools, with the top schools in the Pennsylvania side of the Delaware River in suburban Philadelphia. We're competitive academically. We're competitive in all types of interscholastic activities. We're competitive in our co-curricular activities. We compete in math leagues and everything else. I want to invite all of you to come back to our schools. We probably have the best disciplined high school in the suburban Philadelphia area. I am extremely proud. It's not just that I am also a graduate of Eisenhower, but I am extremely proud of the accomplishments that we have had over the last 20 years in Norristown Area High School. So, if you haven't visited, please come in. Either call me or call the office, talk to one of the vice principals, if not me. Just come in and visit. You can walk around, you can visit classes if you haven't. We'd like you to see our schools. We'd like you to participate. If you're finished working, if you're retired, or if you're rich, come on in. We can use you. We need you to help do some tutoring and some of our programs with some of our students that need extra help. Please, our doors are open. We invite you back. I'd like to conclude my remarks by congratulating both the graduates that we have this evening from Eisenhower and from Norristown Area High School. I particularly had the pleasure of being the principal for two of the inductees this evening, and I was in school at the same time as 2 at Eisenhower as 4 of the others, even though I didn't have a real personal or friendship relationship with most of them. I'd like to congratulate all the inductees this evening. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome you back, whether you had the outstanding accomplishments in high school or after high school. We welcome you and offer you our congratulations. And thank you all for attending this evening.
Good evening. I'd like to congratulate all the Hall of Champion and Hall of Fame inductees tonight, and I would like to hopefully present you some future Hall of Champion and Hall of Fame members. Will the students please come on stage? Okay. First one is James Hardy. James is a 10th grade student. He finished 4th in the state at 103 pounds last year as a freshman, and he's also a member of our cross-country team. Next is Sierra McClellan. Sierra is a 10th grade student. She was the District 1 and the state champion in the 400 meters with a time of 55.17. Next, we have Nicole Undercuffler. Nicole is a 3-sport athlete here at the high school. She is a member of the field hockey, basketball, and softball team. Next, we have Troy Swittenberg, we have Marcus Green, who is a member of our boys basketball team. Marcus was one of the most recruited guards in the state of Pennsylvania. Next we have Chrissy Huntsberger. Chrissy is a 3-sport athlete here at the high school. She's a member of the volleyball team, the basketball team, and the softball team. Next we have Troy Swittenberg, who is a member of our football team and track team, and Troy is currently the 2nd leading rusher in the Times-Herald area. Next we have Chris Blake. Chris is a member of our football team and our basketball team, and he is the starting quarterback. Next we have Amy Jablonski. Amy is a 3-sport student here at the high school. She's a member of the field hockey, basketball, and track team, and also, least I forget, she decided when she wasn't playing field hockey, she'd run cross country this year. And last but certainly not least, Tom Spitko. He's an outstanding member of our soccer team and a baseball player. Again, I'd like to congratulate not only the inductees tonight, but also hopefully some of these future inductees. Thank you.
Elizabeth Hoy Jetter, class of 1949. If one word could sum up Betty Hoy Jetter's life, it would be leader. An outstanding player in hockey, basketball, and softball during her 3 years at Norristown High School, Betty was recognized early on for her leadership qualities when she was elected president of the newly organized all-girls sports club at NHS during her senior year. Betty played 3 sports all 3 years of high school, going from the junior varsity to the varsity team in hockey and basketball midway through her sophomore year. She was also a varsity softball player all 3 years of high school. In addition to her athletic prowess, Betty played the clarinet in the high school orchestra, and following her sophomore year, she was awarded a scholarship to the New England Music Camp in Maine for the summer. Following high school graduation, Betty served in the United States Navy for 4 years. She organized the Women's Sports Day in California State in Northridge, California. She served as president of the San Fernando Valley chapter of the National Organization for Women and gave many speeches to girls in high school and college, trying to raise their awareness on what they can achieve. Her professional career took her to the Jet Propulsion Laboratories in Pasadena, California, where she was employed from 1980 to 1994, when she retired as an assistant engineer. She is a resident of Pasadena, California. Betty, please come to the stage at this time as we welcome you to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
I want to thank the committee for allowing me to be a part of this honorable group. I am really very honored. I'd like to thank my sister Marie for nominating me. I really appreciate that she thought that I was worthy of doing it. It really does take a village to raise a person. And I've had a great village in my background. As a matter of fact, most of my village is even here tonight. I have aunts and uncles and cousins, nieces and nephews here, and I have even a great niece here, and I have my sister's friends here who she shares with me when I come. It's been a great place to Norristown has been a great place to grow up in, and I've had a great family to do it. I want to thank them all for being here. I also have my sisters and my brother out here. And I also have my daughter Peggy and her husband Paul from California, who flew here for this occasion, along with my grandchild Emily. I'd also like to thank Amy Jablonski for the wonderful tour she gave me today. I was really impressed with the fact that they had a program here for those who had been in trouble, helping other students who are in trouble, and that they also have a drug prevention program here. It's really good to see that they care about the students like that. So thank you all again very much.
James P. Williams, class of 1962. In the early 1960s, When you talked boys basketball at Norristown High School, you talked Jim Williams. At that time, his name was synonymous with success in the sport. Jim led his high school team to the Suburban 1, District 1, and Eastern PIAA championships in 1962. He was unanimously selected by both the Associated Press and United Press International as the best high school player in Pennsylvania in that year. In addition, UPI called Jim the most discussed scholastic player in the state. There certainly are not many higher accolades than that. He was also selected to Parade Magazine's All-American Team in 1962. Jim was a state champion track performer as well, helping his NHS team win the state title in 1961 and the district championships in 1962. He also won the District 1 discus title with a throw of 159 feet 2 inches. To top off his brilliant high school athletic career, Jim participated in cross country during his junior and senior years. Following high school, Jim attended Temple University, graduating in 1966 with a degree in business administration. He continued his basketball playing at Temple, leading the Owls in scoring and rebounding all 3 years of varsity competition and his 1 year of freshman ball. He was inducted into both Temple's Hall of Fame and Philadelphia's Big Five Hall of Fame in 1983. Following college, Jim was a member of the Pan American basketball team, helping to win the gold medal in Winnipeg, Canada in 1967. Jim played for 6 years in the Italian League, from 1967 to 1973, and was named that league's most valuable player in 1970, leading his team to the European Championship. Jim presently is Executive Director of Assets Montco, an organization providing self-employment training and support for individuals with limited resources in the central area of Montgomery County. Jim and his wife Sharon reside in Souderton, PA. Jim's daughter Sarah is a fashion model residing in Europe. Jim, congratulations to you and welcome to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to congratulate my fellow inductees of the Hall of Champions, as well as those that are being inducted into the Hall of Fame this evening. I'm very grateful for the recognition of my high school athletic accomplishments, and I'm also thrilled to share the stage this evening with two classmates that I can honestly say that I've always admired and respected. They being Sue Mosheim and Gerald Elfenbein. We were classmates and actually even go back as far as junior high school together. In honoring me this evening, you also honor yourselves to the extent that I am a product of this community. So for this honor this evening, I'm indebted to a great many people. First and foremost, I have to thank my parents, who first gave me the foundation to succeed. Thanks to their teaching and guidance and my being blessed with the common sense to follow their instructions, I've been able to succeed on the court of life as well as the court of competition. Beyond my parents, there are a whole host of teachers and people in the community that I'm grateful for. As Ms. Jeter said, it takes a whole village to raise a child, And I'm a living example of that. In the days when I grew up in Norristown, you couldn't leave your section of town and go to any other town and act up because the telephone lines would be ablaze. And upon getting home, you would be corrected quickly. And I wish that we could return to those days in many, many respects. There are a lot of people that I could be grateful to, and a lot of people that I could name, but in the interest of time, I'm going to name just a few. First of all, I want to recognize and thank Skag Kottman, who first taught me the game of basketball at the old Gottwal's Gymnasium. And of course, all of you who are familiar with the old gym down at Gottwal's, you know that it had a ceiling of about 11 feet. The basket was 10 feet and the ceiling was 10 feet. So consequently, none of us shot jump shots with any arc on them. And everybody, all of the players that came out of that system shot line drive jump shots, and that was why. But we're very grateful to Skag Kottman and the contribution that Skag made to the community. Taking his time on Tuesday evenings to teach young men basketball, and at the same time, most probably keeping them out of trouble as well. Marv Bachrod is another individual who gave countless hours of instruction and advice to Donnie Cartwright, my teammate, and myself. And for those of you who don't know Marv, he was a radio personality, the old WNAR in Norristown, but Marv would spend a lot of time just going over common sense things like, are you keeping your grades up? Are you studying? You want to go on to college, because if you go on to college, you can better your plight, your plight in life, and so fortunately, Donnie and I had the good sense to listen to him, and again we owe a great deal of gratitude to Marv. And I mention those two individuals because they're very, very special, and they're exemplary of the type of individuals who work with young people in the community, both as at the community level and then on another level, on the professional level. And I believe I heard Mr. Spencer give a call for mentors and other people in the community to become involved with the young people at the high school. And I would certainly echo that same appeal, and in doing so, what we wind up with is a better community. So, to all those teachers who challenged me to do my best and to strive for the better things in life, I want to thank all of them. There are too many and too numerous to name by name at this point, but I just like to thank them. They all know who they are, and certainly a lot of them had a very lasting and profound influence on my life. And last but not least, I'd like to thank all of the members of my church family, and Brother Markley in particular, who have always been there for me. The spiritual component of my life is something that is very important to me, and something that I believe in living by and sharing with others, anybody who is willing to listen. And again, I guess growing up in the 50s, I probably grew up in the best of times, and it's just been a real blessing. So I stand before you this evening a humbled and at the same time a very blessed individual. And I thank all of you. I thank my family and friends for coming out and supporting me this evening, and I thank all of you for being here this evening, and God bless all of you.
David J. Stagliano Sr., class of 1965. All Suburban League honors at quarterback came to Dave Stagliano for his accomplishments with the 1964 Norristown High School football team. Dave was chosen as the team's most valuable player in 1964 as he led the squad in yards gained while scoring 12 touchdowns and passing for another 18 during his varsity career. He was co-captain of the team in his senior year and received varsity letters for football in 1962, 63, and 64. He also earned 2 varsity letters as a first baseman on the school's baseball team, and in his sophomore year, he played junior varsity basketball. Dave was one of the area's scholastic football standouts, honored as a guest of the Times-Herald Coaches Roundtable. There, he was awarded a trophy for most yards gained in 1964. As a result of his excellent play at Norristown, his talent caught the attention of scouts from some 50 stellar colleges and universities, such as Notre Dame, Purdue, Tulane, and Brown, just to name a few. In 1966, he was drafted into the United States Army, and his tour of duty included a year in Vietnam. Dave earned the rank of Sergeant E5 and was awarded the Army Commendation Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal, Good Conduct Medal, and the Vietnam Service Medal. In 1968, Dave returned home to his high school sweetheart and wife, Marianne Santangelo. Dave has shared his football experiences with young boys of the area through coaching CYO teams at Holy Savior School in Norristown, where his team and the coaching staff at Holy Savior were invited to play at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. He also coached baseball for a Norristown Athletic Association Little League team. A graduate of Philadelphia Wireless Technical Institute, Dave has successfully owned his own business, Stagliano Heating and Air Conditioning, with his 2 sons, David Jr. and Brian. They pride themselves on their courteous service and fairness to their customers. His family also includes a daughter, Dana, who is a sophomore at Westchester University, a daughter-in-law, Adrienne, and 2 grandchildren, Anthony and Deanna Stagliano. Dave and his family currently reside in East Norriton Township, where he cherishes the fond memories of his athletic career at Norristown High School. Dave, congratulations on this most recent honor as you're inducted into the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
Kind of higher. I'd like to thank you so much for this great honor to be inducted into the Hall of Champions. My ultimate dream as a child was to play sports for Norristown High School. As a young child, my brother and I used to be in the backyard when Norristown would have games on Friday night. The lights used to shine into our backyard, and we used to listen to the national anthem and stand at attention. So after the national anthem, our game would start. We couldn't wait to get to the level to play for the high school. I'm very proud to be a graduate of Norristown High School, and thanks again for this great honor. Thank you.
Kenneth W. Cool III, class of 1989. When the history of Norristown Area High School basketball is written, the name of Kenneth W. Cool III will be at or near the top. His 4-year career saw him score more than any player in Norristown High School history, a total of 1,710 points during his 4 years. In 1985, Kenny became the first freshman ever to play on the varsity basketball squad at this high school. A member of the Suburban One League Championship team in 1988-89, he competed in the PIAA tournament 3 of his 4 years. He was an all-state selection 2 years and was named an all-area and all-league performer all 4 years of his high school career. He was such a prolific scorer that Kenny hit in double figures in 182 consecutive games, starting in his sophomore year of high school and continuing throughout his collegiate career. Ken also led the state of Pennsylvania in three-point shots made during his junior and senior years of high school. A graduate of Eastern College in 1994, Ken continued his basketball playing there, becoming the school's all-time scorer with 2,779 points during his 4 years. He also set an NCAA record of 15 three-point shots made in a 49-point performance against Westchester University. Ken was named Philadelphia area's Small College Player of the Year in 1993, an honor well-deserved for having scored in double figures in every college basketball game of his career. Ken is a resident of East Norriton Township, and it is our great pleasure to welcome Ken Cool to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
Thank you very much. I would like to first take this opportunity to congratulate the other inductees here tonight on a job very well done. I would also like to thank the administration, the Hall of Champions Association, for honoring me here tonight. It's an honor that I do accept with great pleasure. I would first like to thank my parents. My mother and father have always been there for me. They have provided me with direction, discipline, focus, and love, and they have always given me the opportunity to be successful. Going back to when I first started playing basketball when I was 8 years old, up until the time that I graduated from college, I don't think they missed more than 2 or 3 games. And I know that it was their commitment to me that enabled me to be committed to myself. I would also like to thank my sisters, Tara and Trish, for number 1, putting up with me for the years, and number 2, being just who they are, great sisters. At this time, I'd also like to say a few words about my grandfather Mancini, who passed away some 8 years ago. But I know he would have great pride to be here tonight. He had great pride in watching me play here at Norristown Area High School, watching the success that I was fortunate enough to have. And like I said, he would have great pride tonight. I would also like to thank the rest of my family and friends for being my support team, for being my cheering section, for always being there. My 4 years here at Norristown Area High School were a wild 4 years, a lot of ups and downs. But I do remember all of your support, and I definitely appreciate it. There are many other people who have lent a hand in my success. I can't name everybody, but from grade school on to the time I graduated college, the various coaches, teammates, teachers, they have all had a special effect on me. I was fortunate enough to use basketball and privileged enough to use basketball as a tool to earn my college education, as a tool to better understand how to deal with success, also how to better understand how to deal with failure. Basketball, as well as the people that I have mentioned here tonight, have been the inspiration to me, and altogether has molded me into the individual person that I am today. And again, thank you to everyone who has been involved. Thank you.
Jude Arena, class of 1991. Jude Arena was a champion wrestler for his entire high school and collegiate career. A four-year member of the Norristown area high school wrestling team, Jude concluded his athletic career with a selection to the All-State team in 1991. Captain of the team, Jude was a two-time sectional champ, earning the Outstanding Wrestler Award his senior year. He also was a four-time district and regional qualifier. Jude made history, being the first Norristown area high school wrestler to reach the prestigious 100 victory mark. His 116 high school wins were, at that time, a school record, as were his 72 falls. These statistics helped earn him all-league recognition. As well as being an outstanding wrestler, Jude was also captain of the soccer team and was selected All-Suburban 1 his senior year. Following high school graduation, Jude attended James Madison University in Virginia. Ranked as one of the top 20 Division I wrestlers in the United States, Jude's impressive list of accomplishments included 3 Colonial Conference championships, a freshman All-American selection, becoming a 3-time NCAA national qualifier, and for 4 years being named his team's most valuable wrestler. Jude also served as a team captain for 2 years and earned academic All-American honors 2 years in a row. Jude excelled at academics at JMU. A Dean's List student, he was a 3-year CAA Scholar Athlete and James Madison's Scholar Athlete of the Year in 1995. He graduated magna cum laude. After graduation from Emory University School of Law in Atlanta earlier this year, Jude is presently employed by the Philadelphia law firm of Stradley, Ronan, Stevens & Young, and he resides in Collegeville. Jude Arena, welcome to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Hall of Champions Association for bestowing on me this great honor. It is one for which I am truly grateful. I'd also like to thank Cheryl Beatty and Steve Harner for their thoughtfulness in nominating me for this award. I'd like to thank my family, who's here tonight en masse, which is quite fitting. Throughout my entire career, I was always amazed at the section of friends and family that I had supporting me and cheering me on. I feel fortunate that my mother, my father, my sisters, Joelle and Jordan, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, I'm fortunate that they were able to share my successes with me and share my failures with me and comfort me during my failures. I'd also like to thank my coaches, John Blackman for soccer and Coach Steve Harner and Jim McCarthy for wrestling. It was through them that I was able to learn the self-confidence, the perseverance, and the discipline that was necessary to succeed in wrestling and in life. And it's because of them that I'm able to stand here now and humbly accept this induction into the Hall of Champions. Thank you.
I'd like to add my congratulations to all of the inductees, and it's my honor and pleasure to introduce you to Norristown Area High School's outstanding student scholars. From the class of 2001, but this award is being honored to the 3 students in each of the classes, sophomore, junior, and senior year, who are currently ranked number 1, number 2, and number 3, in addition to their many activities. And from the class of 2001, ranked 3rd in the sophomore class is Christina Freeman. Ranked 2nd in the sophomore class is Colin Ashby Kuhlman. And the top student in the class of 2001 is Johnny Anisette. From the class of 2000, ranked 3rd in the junior class, is Ariana Dumchewski. Ranked 2nd in the junior class is Stephanie Domino. A popular name tonight. And the top student in the class of 2000 is Karan Mirza. From our senior class, the class of 1999, ranked 3rd in the senior class, is our soloist tonight, Sandra Ritter. Ranked 2nd in the senior class is Frank Schultz. And the top student in the class of 1999 is Ari Hawkins.
Augustus R. Domino, class of 1939. Augustus R. Gus Domino, a member of the class of 1939, was president of the Varsity N Club, treasurer of the Vocational Society, homeroom president, and a member of student council. He participated on the varsity baseball team and the junior varsity basketball team. Mr. Domino served as First Sergeant with the United States Army in Europe during World War II, and in 1946 enlisted in the U.S. Army Reserve. He pursued a career in property management, and in 1975 he was recalled to active duty to direct a massive military operation, the training and program coordinating of nearly 32,000 food service personnel. Thought to be a 2-year tour, it was extended an additional 8 years, and when his tour expired, he retired from the service as a Chief Warrant Officer, Grade 4, but remained on the job as a civil servant. In all, he served the federal government for 44 years, most of it in close proximity to a military kitchen. In addition, he developed the reserve component concept of food operations, kitchen designs, and functional layouts for National Guard and Army Reserve centers. He was often in demand for presentations to civilian organizations, general officers' meetings, and worldwide food service conferences. He is the recipient of many military awards: the World War II Victory Medal, the Army Commendation Award, the Army Reserve Components Achievement Medal, the Meritorious Service Medal, the National Guard Minuteman Award, the Adjutant General Award, Virginia National Guard, and the Commanding General's Award, Fort Lee, Virginia. In 1985, Mr. Dimino finished his work and moved back to Pennsylvania, bouncing right back into condo management, first managing a new condo and marina in Ocean City, New Jersey. Then he settled in as manager of the 22-story Twin Tower Rittenhouse Plaza, and from there returned to management at Valley Forge Towers. In addition to his amazing careers in the military and private sectors, Dimino has all the while carried on a love affair with local politics and community service organizations. He served 8 years as a councilman for the borough of Norristown and was chairman of a number of council committees. He ran for mayor of Norristown in 1957 and was recognized by the Greater Norristown Jaycees as their Young Man of the Year in 1956. Mr. Dimino introduced a community project in 1969 to the Department of Defense for the U.S. Army Reserve units participating in military occupation specialty training. Through his efforts, action was initiated to make the Sawmill Run Flood Control Project in Norristown a municipal improvement program, which was designated a recreational area for children. Mr. Dimino was an active member and fundraiser for the Christopher Columbus Monument in Elmwood Park. He also organized a committee to restore the 1922 War Memorial in Elmwood Park, which was rededicated in 1994. Active in veteran circles, Dimino was installed as commander of the Catholic War Veterans Post 1182, an organization he helped found in 1947, and he still holds the position today. Presently, Gus is chairman of the Central Montgomery County All Veterans Council. He is a member of the St. Isaac Jogues Roman Catholic Church in Valley Forge. Married to the former Francis M. Calabrese, they are parents of a son, Glenn, and daughter, Lorraine Cavett, and reside in Wayne, Pennsylvania. At this time, Gus, please come to the stage as you become the newest inductee into the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
I am going to assure you it's a short one tonight. I would like to thank the selection committee and everyone who made this possible this evening. It's a great honor to be recognized for the work that I have done while in the service and through the community and throughout the community. I have loved being a part of so many community projects which have helped others, and also for my fellow veterans. I hope that I'll be able to continue this activity for many years to come. I wish to thank all of my family and friends for this occasion this evening, and coming here, it was a great pleasure. Thank you again, and thanks for the committee.
Kenneth F. Gambone, class of 1944. Kenneth Gambone, a member of the class of 1944, was homeroom president and a member of the cross-country club, math club, and stamp club. He received his B.S. degree from Westchester University, his master's and doctorate from Penn State, and performed additional graduate study at the University of Pennsylvania, Temple, Villanova, Indiana, Hofstra, Pittsburgh, and C.W. Post College. He has spent 36 years in English education, 12 years in 3 Pennsylvania school districts, and 24 years as English supervisor in Oyster Bay, New York. He was adjunct professor of English at Nassau Community College for 22 years. He served at C.W. Post Graduate School for 6 years and is presently adjunct professor of English at St. John's University. Mr. Gambone has served the New York State English Council in several capacities. He was secretary on the executive board, exhibits chairman and conference chairman for the National Council of Teachers of English, as well as general chairman for the 1977 convention in New York City. In addition, he was the founder and director of the Long Island Writing Conference from 1973 to 1983. In other professional positions, Ken worked with the Middle States Association and was a director of NDEA studies. He also was a staff writer for the Dictionary of American Regional English and Abstracts of English Studies, and an advanced placement reader for the Educational Testing Service in Princeton, New Jersey. In addition, he is listed among the Directory of American Scholars. An author of 5 books, the most recent, Remembering Walt Whitman, he has written 42 articles, along with many essays and poetry. He has 2 books in progress, one a biography and one about iron bridges. He's conducted research at Harvard University, Yale University, the University of Pennsylvania, J.P. Morgan Library, and the Library of Congress. In 1988, Ken retired from his 24-year position as English supervisor in the Oyster Bay schools. He and his wife Joan live in Oyster Bay, have 2 children, Lynn and Kenneth Gerald. Tonight, it's our pleasure to welcome you, Ken, to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
There are many silent names who deserve this honor more. If this mystery of life has taught me anything, it has taught me that you never really do anything alone. There's always somebody there to touch you, to push you, to give you a place to stand. In my case, it was my mother, my grandparents, my brother Gerald, my dear cousins John, Joseph, and Larry Arena, and many, many friends along the way. Can I ever forget my homeroom teacher, Mr. Carl Hedstrom? I watched him cry in the fall of 1943 over the death of his colleague and friend, Mr. Tommy Thompson. He just stood in front of us in room 16, Eisenhower High School, and he cried. He touched me. And there was Elva Blakey, my senior English teacher, who would often drape an ancient arm around my neck and whisper words of encouragement. She touched me. When I went to work at the YMCA, there was Charles Kraut, the janitor, who taught me how to sweep a locker room clean. And then he hugged me when hugs were few. He touched me. And at the YMCA also was my surrogate father, Kirk Bryan, the young Harvard lawyer who taught me Robert's Rules of Order and who never let me go. He wrote to me for 50 years. And I'm doubly blessed tonight because of my good wife, Joan, my daughter, Lynn, my son-in-law, Robert, my grandson, Tyler Michael, my son, Kenneth, and my daughter-in-law, Joanne. They still touch me. So if there is anything that I will remember, it is that you never do anything alone. Somebody's always there to touch you like they touched me. So I want to thank Mr. Martinelli and the committee, the school, and the good folks of Norristown for touching me again. If there's anything I'm sure of tonight, it is that when these auditorium doors close, they will open again tomorrow for the new young faces that are waiting to be touched by someone special along their way. I can say these things because my name is Kenneth Gambone, native son, Norristown, Pennsylvania. Thank you. Good night.
Dr. William Steinbach, class of 1951. William S. Steinbach, a member of the class of 1951, was student council and homeroom president. He graduated from Gettysburg College and Jefferson Medical School in Philadelphia. Upon completing his medical training at Jefferson in 1959, Dr. Steinbach pursued training in surgery and orthopedic surgery, finishing as chief resident of orthopedic surgery at the University of Pennsylvania in 1966. He joined the staff of the Guthrie Clinic and Robert Packer Hospital, where he became co-director of the orthopedic department. In 1975, Dr. Steinbach relocated to Scranton, Pennsylvania, where he was associated in practice with Steinbach, Steindel, Malloy, and Cronky Limited. In addition to Community Medical Center, he served on the staffs of Moses Taylor, Mercy, and Scranton State General Hospitals, and Allied Services for the Handicapped. He was an associate board member of Northeastern Bank of Pennsylvania and past president and executive committee member of the Pennsylvania Orthopedic Society. Other memberships included the Church of the Epiphany in Glen Burn, PA, the Lackawanna and Pennsylvania Medical Societies, the Philadelphia and Eastern Orthopedic Societies, and the American Medical Association. At the time of his death on May 8, 1986, Dr. Steinbach was chief of the Department of Surgery at Community Medical Center in Scranton. He is survived by his wife, the former Barbara Binns, daughter Brooke, and 4 sons, William A., Richard, Thomas, and Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Steinbach to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame. Accepting on Dr. Steinbach's behalf is his son, Richard.
On behalf of my father and my family, I'm very proud to accept this award. Thanks to everybody here in Norristown. Thanks.
Elfenbein became internationally recognized as a cellular immunologist in the field of marrow transplantation. In 1981, Dr. Elfenbein was recruited to the University of Florida to begin the first allogeneic transplant program for that state. His program grew to national prominence and was known as a leader in multi-institutional clinical trials and basic laboratory research. In 1989, Dr. Elfenbein was recruited to Tampa, Florida, to start bone marrow transplantation for the University of South Florida at the H. Lee Moffitt Cancer Center and Research Institute. This program grew to international prominence and was known for its innovative research in high-dose chemotherapy regimes, hematopoietic stem cell biology, and clinical results in breast cancer and multiple myeloma. During his 22 years as a clinical and laboratory academician, he has published over 500 scientific journal articles, book chapters, and meeting abstracts. He was elected a Fellow of the American College of Physicians in 1996. In September of 1998, Dr. Elfenbein moved to Providence, Rhode Island, where he is director of the Cancer Center and director of the Blood and Marrow Transplant Program at the Roger Williams Medical Center, and he has been appointed professor of medicine at Boston University. Also, in September 1998, Dr. Elfenbein was the opening speaker at the 8th Argentinian Congress of Oncology and the 4th International Congress of Oncology in Buenos Aires. In the year 2000, Dr. Elfenbein will be co-chairman of the 29th annual meeting of the International Society for Experimental Hematology, which will be held in Tampa, Florida. This year, he and his wife, Diane S. Elfenbein, MD, a pediatrician who is also an associate professor, celebrated their 30th wedding anniversary. They were college sweethearts who went to medical school together. Of all their accomplishments, they're most proud of their 2 children, Daniel W. Elfenbein, age 25, a Harvard graduate who is married and is a PhD candidate at Harvard, and Johanna R. Elfenbein, age 17, a senior at Tampa Preparatory School and an accomplished equestrian and academically at the top of her class. Dr. Elfenbein's hobbies include distance bicycling, competitive co-ed volleyball, reading novels, listening to classical music, and collecting art. He has traveled extensively and has gone to the corners of the earth. And from language courses taken at Norristown High School, he learned enough to speak tourist French and German. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gerald Elfenbein to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
I've spoken all over the world, but I don't think I've ever had to give a talk as hard as this one. Dr. Gambone, you are a hard act to follow. You have touched me. I do have a few thoughts, however, that I would like to share with you. Although tonight appears to be a celebration of self and individual achievements, it's really a celebration of system. Mr. Spencer said that the school now is diverse. The school was diverse before, although not as diverse, but the 3 members of our class who are inducted today are representative of that kind of diversity. We came to Norristown High, we learned at Norristown High, we left Norristown High, we went on, and we have done everything we have wanted to do. I'm so glad that students are also being celebrated tonight. They should know that you can go wherever you want to after you have been here. This is a staging ground for the future. And I did not truly appreciate how important high school is as a staging ground until I had to prepare my own children. Now I know how important this fundamental experience is. So I want to thank the members of the association for the honor of being inducted. I want to congratulate all the other inductees, and I want to wish everybody a great life.
Sue Mosheim Gee, class of 1962. Sue Gee, a member of the class of 1962, was a cheerleader, a member of the tennis and swimming teams, and was active in drama and music. She graduated from Drexel University with a BS degree in education. Mrs. Gee began her educational career in 1966 as a teacher at Mount Anthony Union High School. She later taught in Arlington and Burlington Public Schools, was vocational director at Burlington High School in Vermont, and was a middle school and high school principal. She has a master's degree in administration from St. Michael's College and has done postgraduate work at the University of Vermont. Her professional experience includes 11 years as a classroom teacher, 15 years in educational administration, and 3 years as co-owner of a business, responsible for managing the design, manufacture, marketing, and distribution of designer women's coats. In 1997, she was appointed Assistant Superintendent for Educational Services of the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District in California. She serves as the educational leader of a 12,000-student, 16-school public school district, organizes and coordinates the pre-K through 12th grade educational programs, facilitates instruction and curriculum development, oversees instructional technology, bilingual education, state and federal projects, parent leadership, community school collaboration, standards and assessments, data analysis, and reform activities. She administers a $1.9 million Annenberg Institute for School Reform Challenge Grant in collaboration with the Los Angeles Annenberg Metropolitan Project and the UCLA Graduate School of Education and Information Sciences. Sue has participated in many workshops and conferences, and she is a candidate for the National Faculty of the Annenberg Institute for School Reform, Providence, Rhode Island. Married to Tom Gee, who was president of Southern Vermont College from 1976 to 1983, they have 4 children and 3 grandchildren and reside in Santa Monica, California. Congratulations, Sue, on your induction into the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
It's funny to be on the other side of the stage. As a high school principal, I often was here while people were walking toward me. It's a little unnerving. I'd like to congratulate my fellow inductees and also congratulate the students who were celebrated this evening and wish them well in the rest of their careers. I have enjoyed my day spent here with these outstanding students. I would like to commend the teachers, past and present, of Norristown High School for their dedication to one of the hardest professions, teaching. Their love of children and skill in teaching brings tangible evidence in these fine, articulate young people, future leaders, future citizens of Norristown. I want to also commend the parents and the community for standing behind their children and providing this wonderful facility and these fine educational programs which we saw today. This is a very uplifting and positive atmosphere for all students in their learning. I'd like to thank Ms. B for nominating me and the association for this honor. Each of our paths to success is somewhat different. Those of us who are inductees tonight are all different in our paths, but there also are many similarities. Most of us pay tribute and say thank you to our parents for being there for us, guiding us with love and encouragement, and creating the foundation in our early formative years. I'd like to ask my parents, Sibel and Morris Mosheim, to stand up and be recognized. They're here with me tonight. My father just celebrated his 87th birthday. Thank you, Mother and Dad, for your love and support. I share this honor with you. I'd like to thank the members of my family and my friends who are here tonight, my friends' parents who are here tonight. This is just a wonderful evening. In our interviews earlier today, we were asked if we had any words of wisdom to impart. As I reflected on this question, I came up with two essential qualities to recommend for personal success. And that personal success means, to me, living a life that has meaning. The first is a habit of mind. Believe in yourself. Set high expectations, and then do your absolute best. Be thoughtful and plan. Plan well. Know that greatness is within each of us. I know we can all make what we believe in happen. We are all evidence of that. The second is a habit of spirit. Give to others. Life is a balance. With success comes responsibility. Sometimes we hold ourselves apart from others, feeling only our differences. This keeps us from the important connections of spirit that create true community. We have much to learn from each other, and much can be accomplished when we work together. So thank you to the administration and the alumni of Norristown High School whose efforts create this inspiring event, an affirmation to the power of education in our lives. It is an honor for me to accept this award.
We have applauded tonight's honorees individually. I feel that a collective round of applause would be in order for the group. Will they all stand now? Everybody give them. I don't know whether you heard, but they said they are now going to Disney World. Okay. After viewing tonight's program, you may be wondering how you can help our association to continue the program of honoring outstanding students from Norristown Area High School. In the program booklet you received tonight, there is a section devoted on how you can help, how you can join our association, and how to nominate individuals for both halls. Please take the time to review these pages. We continue to seek nominations for both halls and for annual and life memberships, which help us fund the cost of the induction ceremonies. These are areas of our program where you, the public, can help us. We ask you support in helping to attain the credentials and qualifying former students. If you know of someone worthy of the excellence for which these two halls represent, please obtain a nomination form tonight during the reception at our membership table set up in the cafeteria. Bob Landis, our membership chairman, will be happy to provide you with the details. Before we all adjourn to the cafeteria for refreshments and fellowships with our honored guests, I would like to recognize several individuals and groups whose contribution have made our program possible this evening. First of all, I want to thank our program chairperson, Rory Zumo. Another great job by the person behind the scenes who runs the program, prepares the inductee slide presentation, and creates the hall exhibit in the display case in the lobby of the auditorium. Special thanks also to Jeffrey Brandon, our offstage announcer, who nobody sees, but has been doing such a great job for so many years. To Jim Wood and Bob Kane and their selection committees, who worked hard during the year to review each nominee's credentials. To Bill and Winnie McCain for their untiring effort on behalf of the association in preparing the volumes of photos and information and albums on all our previous inductions. These albums will be available for viewing in the cafeteria. Be sure to stop and see them. To Jo England and her program committee, who spent hours and hours in coordinating our program booklet. And to Stan Barber, who took on the job as the advertising chairman, an instrumental part of funding the cost of our induction ceremonies. To the Student Council for acting as ushers and helping our reception chairperson, Nancy Collier, with the reception. And many thanks also to the high school band, under the direction of David L. Shoup and soloist Sandra Witter, for their fine musical performance. Now we invite each of you to attend a reception in the cafeteria behind the stage. You can use that exit over there. Please enjoy the festivities. I ask that all the inductees remain on the stage for a round of picture taking, and as soon as we sing the alma mater, we'll adjourn to the cafeteria. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate your support.
Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude this evening's festivities, please rise and join in singing our alma mater, the Blue and White. For those of you who can't remember all of the lyrics, they can be found on page 2 of this evening's program.
Thank you very much.
Sandy?
Keep them up there, Guido.